Just a heads up before we get going, this video will contain major spoilers, possibly for Baldur's Gate 3. It's not really possible for me to show you what I want to show you here without the spoilers, so unfortunately, if you want to avoid spoilers, you'll need to skip this video. If that's the case, I totally understand, and I hope to see you in the next one. As for the rest of you, feel free to use the chapters to skip to whatever part of the video you actually want to see. Stuff. I like stuff. I like having things and owning them. Finding them, even better. Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of stuff. I am not actually legally allowed to own stuff or have stuff, but in Baldur's Gate 3 and other video games, I can sate my desire to own things through endless looting and grabbing of stuff. Baldur's Gate 3 is littered with all kinds of stuff. Notes, gems, things, crap, junk, all of it. Everywhere. It's impossible not to find it. And if you're like me, you'll run into the problem of having your entire party completely encumbered, just dragging themselves to the nearest trader in order to sell some of your stuff, and still you spend 45 minutes sorting through your stuff, because for every item you think, what if I need this stuff? What if I can use it someday? Such is the eternal struggle of the RPG player. Don't feel too bad though, because the item in this video is actually the exact reason why we feel this way. All the conspiracies are true. The game devs are out to get us. Hoard every item you find. Well, maybe don't do that, but you can at least find some solace in the fact that if you did find this item and sold it or lost it or gave it to the wrong party member, you can now discover its purpose without having to load a save from 14 hours ago. The stuff I'm talking about are the mysterious brain jars you'll find scattered around anywhere there's a mind flayer present. Another small disclaimer here, I may not have found every single brain jar there is in the entire game. Despite having 800 plus hours of playtime, I have never sided with the absolutists. How could I? I'm shitting and crying right now just thinking about it. But if you did and you found a brain that I didn't mention here, then let us know in the comments. Maybe I'll make an updated video. The first two brain jars can be found on the Nautiloid, the tutorial level. In the room where Shadowheart is trapped in a pod, you can find the first brain in a jar on the table in the southeast corner of the room. Exact coordinates are x2, y, -360. It's called the Dark Mind. If you keep on going east through the sphincter door, keep going all the way to the back of the room to the far east, you'll find a cartilaginous chest and our second brain in a jar called the Slave Mind. Exact coordinates are x57, y -357. From there, you can do whatever you want. You can kill the bad guys, crash the ship, go to Mum's, kill Phil, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over. The brain jars are now going to slosh around in our inventory and make all our stuff smell funny until the end of Act 2. Or maybe the beginning, I don't know, I've never sided with the bad guys, I'm sorry. But regardless of how or when you get there, you will eventually find yourself taking a disgusting dive down a fleshy flume ride into the Mind Flayer colony. Now forgive me, I am clearly not a cartologist, a cartographer, a cardiologist, a cartographer. I'm not skilled at making maps, but I tried. I tried my best, okay? I tried, I'm sorry. I tried to make a map of the general area and labeled each room and each brain jar and where you can find them, or at least the ones that I found. So you start down here in the poop chute, obviously. That's where you drop down into the colony. The first room with a brain jar in it is called the morgue. That room is the first room on your right. There's some bad guys in there and some intellect devourers. The butchered mind can be found at exactly coordinates x674, y -70. If you continue on through the only other door in this room, you'll end up in the Necrotic laboratory, which there are several enemies, some Death Knight guys, and this is actually where all the magic happens, because this is also the room where your plug-and-play brain station is. The brains in this room are the willing mind and the true mind, both located at x693, y -114. A third brain can be found here called the waking mind after the neuron puzzle in the sort of offshoot room. It's located at x745, y -138. If you kind of go back the way you came and go out the other unused door in this room, you end up back at a crossroads, and the first room to your right is called Mind Flayer Colony. It's the room with the elevator that goes down and a little healing pod thing. In there you'll find the fresh mind, which is at x748, y -11. If you leave that room and keep going, to your right again is the barracks, where you'll find the closed mind at x725, y 16. And here's that whole terrible map again, just for your viewing pleasure. Now that we've collected our brains, I'm going to shut up and show you all the dialogue options for each one. Feel free, again, to use these chapters to skip to whatever part you like. I'll see you at the end. Just so you know, some of these dialogue options will be skipped. Most of the dialogue options on your end don't actually matter, and the brain will respond in the identical way that it did to the previous response. So if you notice that I skip an option or I don't ask a question, just know that I did and that it was identical to the previous one, so I left it out. I tried to include all of them just to make the conversations less confusing, but some of them did get cut out, unfortunately, so sorry about that. Just know that I did hear them all, and if they were skipped, it was because they were identical.
Every soulmate. They won't be laughing much longer. Won't be any more of this. No gnomes in the city, watch, Brevin. This Gortash fella's got an idea. Kind of a training camp. Don't know how it gets me into the watch, but he seems the smart sort. Shh. This place listens. It knows. If we're going to escape, we have to be smart. Right. You get it. I've been watching, learning. This place is alive. A big thinking thing, and it needs our flesh to grow. I've seen them put corpses in the walls, and they just melt away. So we've got to trick it, see? Make it think we're part of it. That's why the door's only open for... Wait. How did you get in here? Away, slave! They might have taken your mind, but they won't have mine! To escape, we have to be smart. Late? No, mate. I was watching. Learning. This place is alive. A big thinking thing, and it needs our flesh to grow. I've seen them put corpses in the walls, and they just melt away. So we've got to trick it, see? Make it think we're part of it. That's why the door's only open for... Wait. How did you get in here? Away, slave! They might have taken your mind, but they won't have mine! This place is alive. A big thinking thing, and it needs our flesh to grow. I've seen them put corpses in the walls, and they just melt away. So we've got to trick it, see? Make it think we're part of it. That's why the door's only open for... Wait. How did you get in here? Away, slave! They might have taken your mind, but they won't have mine! Fine bones, sharp jaw. Some variety of elf? Pretty enough for a flesh prison, if not the noble ℍ𝕒𝕝𝕗 features I was born with. I'd guess you're no willing guest of the gate either. Perhaps we might aid one another. Oh, for a set of hands to slap your face! The Yankee lost their way the moment ℍ𝕒 threw down the Gate Empire. Only we, ℎ𝕒𝕝𝕗, continue the war to end the Gate forever. Only we fight them on their own battlefield, the mind. A ℍ𝕒𝕝𝕗's mind is not so easily cracked. Our discipline was the very reason we were attacked. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gate. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you.
You feel the oncoming void tug at the back of your mind and the edge of your soul. Your patron bids you caution before agreeing to this pact. The monk isn't telling you everything.
All right, The gate did not find my monastery. I led them there. They promised me immortality, and they gave it. I have been their rotting trophy for centuries.
As her agitation swells, so does her latent psionic power. To your tadpole, that guilt and terror are almost fragrant. You realize the Illithids locked her away not as a trophy, but as a fine vintage.
Please, touch my mind and purge it. The moment you do, my knowledge will be yours.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with the loneliness of eons. It fades beneath your touch, but you feel something left behind. A fragment.
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you use it, you will see. And I see. Perhaps we might aid one another. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gate. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you. My people dwell in limbo, a realm of pure chaotic thought. With my mind gone, perhaps my soul will return there. Or perhaps not. Death, freedom, they are one and the same. Touch my mind, and purge it. At the very moment you do, I will make my knowledge yours. I do not. The Ghaik have been warping flesh for millennia. Who knows what damage they can undo? It is my mind they enslave. It is my mind that must die.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with the loneliness of eons. It fades beneath your touch, but you feel something left behind. A fragment.
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you use it, you will see. And I see. Thank you. Oh, wait. No. No! Please! Every day he comes. Every day for 3 days. To ask me how I feel. I want to tell, but I am confused. Which day is it? The first, yes. 5 days since he put that thing in my eye, but the first day he came to visit. He says I am the last, that the other subjects have all changed. We are his pets. His plan, Lord ℍ𝕒𝕝𝕗. Separate cells. I never saw them, but when they changed... My head! I can feel them in my head! Eye hurts. Head hurts. But he says I am past the worst of it. That I won't change like the others. He's given me a place of honor, so he can repeat his miracle. And a name. True Soul. She whispers in my mind. She sings, praise the Absolute. Pardon? Wouldn't do to phlegm all over ℍ𝕒𝕝𝕗 during my first performance, would it? Acoustics are a little off in here. Which is... where, exactly? Oh, just a serving girl with notions. Till I met ℍ𝕒𝕝𝕗. He heard me singing in Beggar's Rest. Said he needed someone to give voice to lost knowledge. A little over my head, being honest, but the Lord has gold. I trust he knows his business. Now, I'd best warm up. Truly? And my ma said the singing would come to naught. Thank you, thank you. Acoustics are a little off in here. Which is... where, exactly? He heard me singing in Beggar's Rest. Said he needed someone to give voice to lost knowledge. A little over my head, being honest, but the Lord has gold. I trust he knows his business. Now, I'd best warm up. I have just the thing prepared. My ma used to sing it when I'd come crying about monsters. Oh, wish me luck. Which is... where, exactly? Right. A jester, are you? Ah, you must be vying for the Lord's patronage too. He heard me singing in Beggar's Rest. Said he needed someone to give voice to lost knowledge. A little over my head, being honest, but the Lord has gold. I trust he knows his business. Now, I'd best warm up. Could do with a bit of natural light, all right. But you know these nobles, odd as fae folk. Now I need to prepare. Wish me luck.
We will take the city.
My head hurts. Can I go back to bed, Mummy? Funny, Mummy. We saw a big spiky snail that fell out of the sky. I'm just very sleepy, Mummy. I wish you'd stop waking me up so much. Night, night, Mummy. Love you. Can I go back to bed, Mummy? I don't know what that means. I had the dream again. The big spiky snail that came from the sky. I'm sleepy, Mummy. You must stop waking me up. What? You're scaring me. Why are you being so mean, Mummy? Go away! Can I go back to bed, Mummy? Night, night, Mummy. Love you. To bed, Mummy. I live here. This is my house. Our house, right, Mummy? We saw a big spiky snail that fell out of the sky. I'm just very sleepy, Mummy. I wish you'd stop waking me up so much. with big wiggly legs. You should. We can talk in the morning. Night, night, Mummy. Love you.
They're in my head. They're in my head! They're in yours too. It won't be long now until we're changed. Am I dead? I don't want to die, but I don't want to live. Not like this.
Oh, my darling Carolina, how I'd love to wine and dine ya, but you chose my foolish brother over me. And when you two are wed, well, my heart will be but dead. Oh, my sister, you will sadly surely be. But my brother, he's a loser, and I take you for a chooser. So perhaps one day you'll leave him high and dry. And if you choose another, what's more loving than a brother? Yes, a stand-up, homely, gentle sort of guy.
Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, I appreciate ya. If you want to watch me play this game and other games live on Twitch, you can come check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/lawlessglory. But otherwise, leave a comment, leave a like. I'll catch you later.